Tommy Christopher. I was telling you earlier about how Tommy Christopher, actually Victoria Jones, in fact, was reporting it on our program, and I had been telling you how Tommy Christopher and Jay Carney got into it today at the White House. Tommy is the the White House reporter for Mediaite.com, Tucker Carlson's website out there on the interwebs. And Tommy, welcome to the program, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tom. But did you just say Tucker Carlson's website?
I'm sorry. You're right. That's Daily Caller. It's Dan Abrams' website.
Yes, there you go. Thank you.
Thank you for correcting me. I mixed.
I just think you might have just given Tucker a heart attack.
Yeah. Okay, let's start. I was telling my listeners and viewers an hour and a half ago that you were, to the best of my knowledge, the only person who ever tweeted a heart attack. Let's start with that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I didn't have insurance, but I did have Twitter, so here's what I had.
And in the ambulance on the way to the hospital after you had a heart attack in your 40s, you are tweeting about the heart attack. And
actually, I was tweeting during the heart attack while it was in progress.
Holy cow!
Well, I thought nobody's ever done it before, and I thought at least then if I died, it would be a funny story, so there'd be something
right
good come out of it.
Yeah. Well, it seems like something good has come out of it in the conversation you had today with Jay Carney in the White House, because having had a heart attack, you have a pre-existing condition that has made you uninsurable. And tell us what happened when Jay Carney called on you. As you're a White House reporter, you were, as the White House briefing. Jay Carney is, of course, the president's press secretary. What happened?
Well, I asked him, because there's been a lot of other journalists who have been agitating for the White House to negotiate on Obamacare in order to end the shutdown and the debt ceiling threat. And so I asked him, if the president might consider delaying Obamacare for a year if Republicans agreed to delay heart attacks for a year.
And how did he respond to that?
Well, I guess it wasn't really meant to get a response.
Yeah.
I mean, he read out the president's position, and that they're obviously their positions they're not going to negotiate, and that the president wants everybody to have access to affordable health care.
Yeah, that was a great line, though. That was such a great joke. You have you're so witty. I mean, it's just and then he tossed it back to you, and you pointed out that you just got insurance.
Well, no, I signed up for an account on the healthcare exchange. I haven't picked a plan yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also eligible for insurance through my employer now, so I'm going to choose between one or the other within the next 2 weeks. But
wow,
last Sunday I got through and was able to sign up, and it took me like 5 tries. I'm not going to lie, but I think my follow-up question might have been, hey, I had trouble with the healthcare changes. Should I just resign myself to an early death?
Yeah, right. I don't think he would have been quite as pleased with that question, but they.
I mean, the thing is, Jay laughed at it, and I understand the humor in it, but it really, the reason I asked the question was it was twofold. I'm getting a lot of heat from conservatives on Twitter, of course, who missed the point. They think the point of this was for me to say how great Obamacare is, and that's not the point at all. First of all, I don't think Obamacare is great. I think it's a stupid Republican idea that was the best thing we could get. So it's not about that. It's not about, isn't the administration great? There was 2 reasons for me to ask that question. Number one, and most, I'll give you the secondary reason, which is I've been hearing a lot of noise about them including something a little like the medical device tax in this deal.
Right.
And so, in that way, it was sort of a message to Jay and up the line that, the stakes in this are much too high to worry about giving Republicans a fig leaf.
Right.
That if you concede anything under this hostage situation, then they'll be back in a few months and trying to tackle Obamacare again. But the main reason I said it was because, there are a lot of, not all of them, but a lot of the White House reporters who've been working on this story have been adopting the Republican position as their own when they question Jay Carney about it, and it's been making me very angry because, they ask trivial questions, they ask questions that take the Republican line, and I wanted to sort of remind them of what's at stake, because a lot of those guys, I mean, Ed Henry asked Jay a couple of weeks ago if he was going to sign up for Obamacare, even though Jay already has health insurance. That's not who it's for.
Right.
And, Jay said, well, I think you have health insurance too. Ed. You're not going to go sign up for Obamacare, right? And, I think probably most of the people in that room, have health insurance and don't know what this is like. And so as well-intentioned as they may be or may not be, they don't have that visceral idea of what's at stake. I don't expect people to support or not support the law. If you're a journalist, that's not your job. But I think your job is to take it seriously.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And you and I, we talked about this on the air on TV last night, and a little more extensively at dinner afterwards. I would love if you're willing to share with our viewers and listeners your thoughts on the state of the national television media and why it is that so many people in America think that both Democrats and Republicans have conspired to shut down the government and hold the debt ceiling hostage, when in fact it has been a small handful of Republicans who are funded by some cranky billionaires.
Yeah, well, I do want to say that, and I'm not just saying this because he's a friend of mine, but Major Garrett over at CBS has been the one TV reporter who I think has done an excellent job of, being adversarial as is necessary, but of also being fair, and informative. And that's the thing, our main job is to, act in the public interest, to inform the public. When we sit there, we're representing the people, people who don't have insurance and don't get to sit in that room. And so, I think the rest of the national media has gotten wrapped up in the rock'em sock'em robot aspect of this, Republicans versus Democrats, and one side's doing this. So, of course Obama should negotiate because, why not? I made this analogy, in my on my website the other day. It's like, it's an old joke. A guy goes up to a woman and he says, "Hey, you want a screw?" And she slaps him, and then he says, "Well, then I guess oral sex is out of the question." I'm editing it a little bit.
Yeah.
And the way the national media report that would be woman unwilling to negotiate on oral sex. It's like this is how they report it, when it's clearly not that way. It's clearly that the debt ceiling and the continuing resolution have nothing to do with the health care law that was passed. The drill.
Yeah. Well, and then that's the thing. It's like this hostage situation that's going on a couple of weeks here now. We are now 14 days, 17 hours into it. We have unpaid salaries of over $2.8 billion. Over 883,000 government employees out of work, over 2,033,000 civilian employees out of work as a consequence of this, and over $194 million in WIC food vouchers that have not been paid. It's $194 million worth of at-risk women and children who are not getting food. All of this could have been ended after the very first day if the national television media in the United States had simply told the fundamentally true story that if John Boehner simply allowed the House of Representatives to take a vote on the clean continuing resolution the Senate had sent to him, it would probably have passed.
Yeah, actually, I saw something on TV last night about how Republicans actually, that it would not have required John Boehner to call in for a vote, that Republicans changed the rules of the House.
Yes, they did.
On October 1st.
It wasn't just Republicans. It was Republicans and 7 Democrats. Barber, Barrow, Maffei, Maloney, Matheson, McIntyre, and Peterson are the 7 turncoat Democrats. But they changed the rules to make it so that only Eric Cantor can bring this to the floor.
Because they could have brought any House member could have brought the Senate bill up for a vote.
Right.
Under the old rules, old meaning 2 weeks ago rules. And they changed the rules just so they went way out of their way to make sure that the government stayed shut down.
Right. Right.
And
that's not widely known.
Sorry?
And that's not widely known, and that's a failure, in my opinion, of the Fourth Estate.
Yeah, big time.
But see, the Fourth Estate is also, as long as this crisis goes on, it's jacking up ratings and it's making it much more profitable for the television networks.
And for my website too, this.
Well, and probably for my radio show too. But I'm willing to at least say it out loud. I don't think that the media is, and I'm also willing to tell the real story of what's going on and how absolutely unnecessary this is. And I think, creating spectacle to have spectacle in order to have ratings, in order to make money, is a terrible thing to do, frankly.
I'll tell you what, this whole thing is making me miss Ted Cruz. If you want to stand there and, talk about Hitler and Dr. Seuss for 40 hours, be my guest, but, don't mess with my health care, don't mess with people's Social Security checks.
Yeah.
I would much prefer to go back to that. Can we do that?
Yes, I'm with you. Although Ted Cruz is now conspiring or gathering at what was the name of that restaurant? Tortilla Coast, with a bunch of Tea Party members of the House of Representatives. He's apparently now the leader of the Tea Party caucus in the House of Representatives. Tommy Christopher, media correspondent and White House reporter at Mediaite, Mediaite.com. Check out his columns over there. They're great. Thank you, Tommy.
Thanks for having me.